Hi, welcome. We're here with Liz.
Hey everybody, now I've got my glasses on so I can see everything instead of squinting.
So
So,
perfect. So we're catching up because I've been traveling for the last week. So I'm a little behind on everything Liz Gold, all that exciting stuff.
I know
So
it's like days of our
tell,
lives, but
these are the
without
days
any
of
of the
our lives.
drama.
Well, I don't know. This is still kind of dramatic.
True.
It is still pretty
True.
wildly dramatic. So, what are the new up and happenings that I've been MIA on?
So I mean, the GoFundMe is a little over halfway there, so that's amazing. Flights have been found, so that way we have it all worked out. Um, where we're going to stay, all of that. I'm not giving details,
Nope.
but basically, that's everything has been set up. We have the Chad-a-Thon, which I love the name. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why it reminds me of the Jog-a-thon. Like,
Yeah, similar.
yeah, it's the similar concept of
Right.
like get donations and I love it. It was all done by Second Gen or Second Never Ends. It was done by
Never
Never
ends.
Ends, and then they're just helping to promote getting my dad out. A new thing that I found was, well, not that I found. It's kind of like when you grow up in the Sea Org, you think that you're the only one that this is happening to,
Uh-huh.
and
The
you have a
isolation
really hard
bubble.
time. Correct. You have a really hard time seeing, oh, okay, well, you're not the only one. And so for me, it was kind of like, I found out the other day that there's so many more second gens where their parents are still stuck at gold, still stuck at, whatever base or whatever, let's just call it blue building
Mm-hmm.
that they're at. And because I'm not the only one, we're uniting.
Yeah. Which is
And
kind of a
that
beautiful
part,
thing, isn't it?
right?
I feel like
Be-
second gens are just a different breed because we grew up in the same, don't step over here, don't say this, don't go out of the circle of, Scientology, or you'll get, in trouble or declared or labeled. And, even when I just traveled, knowing that we're all in the same kind of boat, so to speak, with like our families or extended friends that we just can't talk to anymore. Like this is
yep.
this is so sad, but also kind of beautiful. Like we get blocked on social media from family members when we speak out a lot of times and
Yep.
disconnected from and all that. And I met a few people actually, but what we ended up starting to do is like people would be blocked, they'd ask somebody else to look up their family members so that they could see pictures of them
Yeah.
and then send them
Because
to them. Like,
sometimes,
isn't that sad but sweet? Like, because we all like understand that we're doing it with each other and for each other. And I just thought, in what world is this like, normal? Our world, but
right?
still.
It is. It's totally our world where you're just sitting there like, I wonder if someone could send me a picture. That's why I'm super excited about the Chatathon. It's people that have never been in joining hands with people that have been in. And so it's kind of like one of those things where you're just like, oh my God, we're working together and we're getting one step closer. You have the OGs, and we'll just call them the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
You have Mike, you have Claire, you have Mark, you have Aaron or Aaron. You have all of these like original OGs, the original people that were stepping forward, and it's allowing for the second gens to come up and say, "Hey, my dad's in there, my mom's in there, my
Yeah.
brother, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get them out?"
Right.
You
We
know,
we have to connect with each other because it's an inner web that somebody knows this and somebody knows that and somebody here knows about this. And it is wild to think that we're getting information, or people, not just us, but other people are getting information about their family and their well-being and all that by other people that are still in or under the radar. And it's
yep.
incredibly sad, but it's also beautiful that at least we know that even the people that are in that maybe don't believe but don't want to rock the boat, at least they
Correct, because they
have the
don't want to lose
decency.
everything.
Yeah. They don't want to be in the same boat that we're in.
Correct, because we're at that spot where it's like,
Yeah.
I have a good job. My bosses all know the situation, as I have two jobs. All I had to do is say, look, this is what's going on. Hey, please be aware of this. And so they were all behind me gung ho. And then you turn around and you're like, wow, I've got people on my side. Like I've got people backing me. And then we're not alone. We're not in this small little bubble that they wanted to give us growing
Right.
up. And we're all, it is as cliche as it's going to sound. We're all uniting and we're using the original OG's spectrum of, you know, almost like, remember when you were in school? I remember when you had to do the spider web for how you wanted to have a report come out or a hamburger sandwich. Do you remember that at all?
Sounds familiar. Elementary school time?
Yes.
Okay.
Where it was like, if you want to write a paper, here's what the paper's about. This is how you got this answer. This is it all started with the OGs. And then you have Leah in the dead center who's sitting there saying no and uniting everyone so that the web is growing and growing. And we have more and more people that are working that common goal of saying no, like, no,
this is not acceptable.
This is
right. Yeah. And this is just not acceptable.
Yep.
You can believe whatever you want to believe, but you don't get to dictate what people do, think, who they see, who they can and can't talk to. Like that's very really out there, authoritative. And who does that? In any place, who does that? It's like
it's called Hitler.
It's really a big abusive, like a red flag. Hello. Hello. Let me tell you what you can and cannot do, who you can and cannot see. It's so gross. And we know that I know that my mom really suffered through knowing that disconnection could happen. And so she never spoke up. So she never even told her kids, besides me, because I was obviously such a bad girl.
Bad.
Bad. I've been vocal my whole life. This isn't something new. It's just that I'm now public with it. I mean, my family knew I didn't like this growing up. I rebelled against it hard, which is why I didn't get auditing because I refused. Right. So thank goodness for that. But
I did.
It's hard, isn't it? It's a wild.
I got auditing and there was no, you can or cannot. This wasn't a choice. This was your course time starts at this.
Be there.
Your lunch breaks are there, here, and here. You know, auditing, you're going to be picked up at this time. So that way you can go into your auditing session. Like there was no choice about it. There was just, yes, mom. Yes, mom. I will be there. I'll be ready.
That's what I've always talked about. I think with parents, there is either you're super authoritative or you're kind of like a wild, like you're just kind of free roaming wild child. Like, because your parents were either too busy or they wanted you to be a kid, but like you're an old Satan in a young body. So they didn't really think that they needed to, so I got more of I could just be out wild childy. I was, I could express myself, which I don't know if that was the greatest idea. Kind of backfired.
Not necessarily. You could have been labeled a troublemaker from the very beginning, but
I'm sure. I mean, I was in trouble all the time. And I mean in trouble, like I don't mean hardcore trouble. I didn't really do anything bad. I didn't like ditch school.
I did.
Drugs. I didn't
do that.
I love school. I wanted to be in school so freaking bad. I was like, when my friends would ditch, like if the Lakers won, because we were in LA, right? The Lakers would win and everybody would be like, let's go ditch and go to the Lakers parade. And I'd be like, no, I want to stay at school. I want to soak up every minute, hour, day that I can in public school because that was my happy place. That was like just where I wanted to be.
It was your home away from home where you weren't told or dictated what to do.
Right. And I loved that because I could learn. And I thought that was a good way to combat ending up in Scientology further down the road, which
absolutely
it is. Education,
the more knowledge,
important, so important. I'm going to put a few comments up because I know it's going to be a quick one. Goldie, she said, sorry, off topic. I picked up 3 new foster kittens yesterday. Oh, how sweet. I love fosters. I love kitties and doggies. I've been fostering for so long. I love them.
I couldn't do it. We'd be a foster fail and all of a sudden we'd look like the zoo.
Yeah. Well, that's, yeah. So I can't fail anymore. I'm like, there's no room to fail with these babies because like they're all so sweet. And it's always the ones that I end up keeping are the ones that like won't get adopted because like people will be like, what's wrong with them? Or its eye is messed up or this. And I'm just like, they're sweet little angels. Like they just are, have some little issue that's not a big deal. And then I got to meet the little famous tripod, Elvis.
Right.
He's so cute. He's so much smaller than I thought. I mean, even the pictures, I knew he was small, but holy moly, he just jets. He just
Yep, with
moves
his little tripod. It's like, I love it.
Isn't it cute? When you
It
were
is.
there, and you know where I'm talking about, when you were there, did you see the like creepy house?
Mm-hmm. But
Did they
we
open the
didn't know it.
windows after you
No,
got
because
there?
when we were there, it was an empty house. It wasn't a rented house. When we were there, it was empty. Before I forget this, though, Goldie, tag your it. But it was empty. We parked in front of that house. So where she's showing pictures,
Yeah.
that's where we had parked
Oh wow.
to meet Tripod. You know.
Oh wow. That's so
Yeah, that
wild.
wasn't. So
Yeah.
it's like when she sends pictures, I'm like,
Whoa.
it's right there.
It's kind of obvious too, I will say, because we were outside and we were out there for maybe 5-10 minutes, and all the windows were closed when we got there. Every window, every blind, besides one that's facing the other street.
Yep.
And then suddenly the window that's right across opens up halfway and the blinds halfway. And I'm just like, do you guys really like not think that we grew up as paranoid kids knowing that you guys were watching, listening, sneaking on us? Like, come on. Do you really not? It's just so bizarre. It's such a wild world. And it looked like we had some little possible PIs following. And I'm just like, oh, you guys.
Yeah.
I know it's a job for them, but like, please stop being bottom of the barrel scumbags. Just please.
Right? They're like right up there with ambulance chasers for me.
Oh, what's that?
Like an ambulance chase? Oh,
yeah.
I love your innocence. So an ambulance chaser is an attorney that doesn't know how to pick up clients or picks up clients via trailing the ambulance to the hospital and being like, hi, I'm your attorney. I can get you thousands. No, you can't. You know, but at the same time, they're chasing like almost every ambulance they can to get that accident scene. Oh, we can get you so much money. Oh, you fell. Okay, you fell. I can get you money. So it's just one of those things.
That's so wild.
Oh, his poem.
Wasn't
Thank you so much. So his name's from a poet. Is that correct? Well, either which way, I loved it. I was like, is this something that I've never read? Because I like to read poems. Like Maya Angelou, she's one of my absolute favorites.
Love.
But at the same time, I was like, is this an actual poem that's written somewhere? I was like, I need to find what book it's in and go buy it. And then all of a sudden, I was like, wait a minute, that poem's about me. Oh shit, he wrote it for me. And I was like, oh, good.
Such a sweet soul.
Isn't
it so wild how many sweet people there are that have no reason to care about like Scientology and do? It's really
right. It's so strange.
It is. When you grew up, did you ever think there's people that cared about this? Like,
oh God, no.
I didn't either.
And the people that I did meet, because again, I wasn't a perfect person. When I first got out, I had a hard time. Like first I was telling everybody, yeah, I'm a Scientologist, blah, 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 blah. And then you lose so many friends. So then after a while you stop telling people. Mm-hmm. And then when people ask you certain things, you're like, no, I just choose not to discuss it, please. You know, I became someone you didn't know what to say. No, because
there's no good way. Because you're still either way, you're ex-naying somebody.
Yeah, you're losing some friend, you're losing something. And did we lie as kids? Oh my God, yes, to save our ass. Mm-hmm. Like, why were you here? Oh, I'm coming to the mess hall. You know, whatever it may be. You know, we got basically almost ingrained with how we have to feel and act and how we talk to people,
especially public people.
Right. And then as soon as I go through therapy, I'm like, that's why I did this. Okay. That's why I did that. Thank you. I needed to know why I did this. And with therapy, it's just been like one thing after another where it's like,
you get to peel it,
amazing.
Right.
Yeah. And everything's starting to make sense. And it doesn't feel like this like ridiculous repetition of, is my life going to suck this whole time because I'm just not understanding either world.
Yeah,
and
it is hard to be in both worlds. I have said that I felt like it was like being like someone who spoke a different language, someone who was like culturally very different, because Scientology is very one way. And when you are like, I was public, so I had my foot in both worlds. I always leaned more heavy into the public world because that's what I wanted. Because, you know, once you have a few big, not so great things happen with Scientology, you kind of get to see, like, it's not safe. Like, I just didn't know, like, the what and the why because I was so young. But I knew that it wasn't a safe place. I never felt safe. Like, if you went to, like, the big celebrations and all those things where you just had to get dumped off at the childcare, those were horrendous. I hated going to those.
See, I think so on the big events, I think everyone's experience was totally different. I know there was some times that we were bored, but then there was some people that were just like, oh, we're going to go to the bathroom. And then we ended up running up and down the stairs, back and forth to each stair while we were
outside, right? Were you still inside or were you outside?
Still inside. So you know how it's got the doors where everything's shut, and then there's the lobby area.
Yes,
the
it was
ugly
empty.
Red carpet.
Yes,
we would play in there.
Okay. Oh,
we would play in there, and we would run back and forth and just kind of be kids. Yeah. And I can't tell you, you need to stop doing that.
I was to say you got yelled at for being loud, right? Because I remember because inside the little room they had like there's movies coming like nonstop. There's a big public restroom that kids would just be sitting in, which was weird to me. I'm like, why are you sitting on the bathroom floor? It's gross. And kids would be always just screaming and crying because they didn't understand where they were and who they were with, and there was never enough adults for the kids. And they always just had those like veggie trays, snack trays, like with like a little bit of like deli meats or whatever rolled up. And
but there was never enough to actually feed a child.
No,
it was like
after an hour, it was all done. Right. After an hour, hour and a half, like that was all disappeared.
Yep. So we played.
Yeah.
And people, is there bad shit that happened to us? Absolutely.
I just think
there are some good memories too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make the best of it. Like that's what I tell people. I'm like, it wasn't ideal and we wouldn't have chosen this, but I mean, you make the best of it once you know what you can and can't do. Like even when I was in Mojave, like I didn't love it. I didn't like it at all. But like once I realized that there was, like most of the other kids that were there also didn't probably want to be there, and there are so many younger ones that needed someone to stand up for them. Like it gave me like a purpose, and in that if I left, I felt worried for like the younger kids that were a little bit not wanting to be alive. I don't know what I can say on here, so I'll just say that.
Yeah.
When you're 8 or 9 talking about you wish you weren't alive, like me as a 14-year-old, I was like, that's not good. That's not normal.
But that was normal for us. Unfortunately, that was normal for us because
in that world.
Who knows, there were some things that I've looked back on with my therapist where I'm like, I'm lucky I'm not dead.
I know.
Riding my bicycle to Stan's house all by myself at, under 9 years old. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like,
but
climbing trees where
back
it's like,
then, you were able to be a kid a lot more. And I don't think it's because it was safer. I just think that people didn't have as much access to like social media and stuff where the word of like bad things happening to people didn't get out as quick. It was contained to community. So, I mean, it wasn't safe for us, but I still think there is a little bit of innocence with our parents too, that they didn't think it was that bad because they also rode their bikes and were outside. And so like, as we have more technology and we know more stuff, So someone has a question for you, Liz.
I'm from the West Hollywood area, blue buildings. My mom was at AOLA.
So that is kind of LA area though. Maybe not Sunland, but LA area.
Yeah. But it is LA area. So yes, I am from LA. I have quite a few pictures of me as a child, and little did I know when I was a kid, I did the truffle shuffle because I thought it was like the coolest thing, but I didn't know it was called the truffle shuffle. I would just be like, look, I got flubber. Yeah, I was a weird kid. I'm telling you.
I think a lot of us
meant to be a comedian.
Right. I think a lot of us used our traumatic experiences and we have very dark humor. And I always had said that I'm like, probably why we're kind of funny now because we're so desensitized to stuff that other people might be like, oh my gosh, that's so sad.
That's why I love that line. I've started using that line with people, like only certain people, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. I grew up in a cult, because realistically, when I don't understand, that helps me so much, but it's so bloody funny that you just can't help it.
It starts
It's
up a few conversations. They're like, do I laugh or do I feel sad for you? Do I ask questions or do I not?
hate that. I feel sad for you. That shit kills me.
They never know.
Like
but they never know. Do you know what I mean? And I'm always like, you can ask, like, I'm always pretty open. I'm like, you can ask whatever questions you like, but you might not like the answers because I'm going to give it to you honestly. So if you don't want the honest truth, please don't ask me. Like, please do not. Do not ask for then my honest opinion if you don't want to hear it.
Absolutely. And then you got the people, and I was thinking about this the other day after realizing who knows what they told my dad, who knows what they've told all these other parents. But I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if he's being told that, you know, yeah, I'm suppressive, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm not giving up this fight for you. So I'm hoping that you realize my acts are not suppressive.
No.
But if you really think that it's suppressive, you're more than welcome to stay where you want to. And I'm going to get every other parent out.
Right.
Because this choo-choo is going to keep going.
That's all you can do. You can just stand up and advocate for people. And if they want to take that help, they can. And if they don't, then they don't have to. Because, you know, free will is a beautiful thing. And sometimes it's a painful thing because we know our parents are so conditioned to believe what they believe. And they've been believing it since before we were born. So we don't expect that they're going to. I mean, I know that we're hopeful that they'll see like the not healthiness in it. Like, these are your kids that you chose to have, that you wanted to have. We were very much wanted kids. We were postulated, you know?
Yeah. Like my mom tells me a lot that, my mom tells me a lot. I wish I had more kids. And all I could think was, thank God I'm your only one. Like, realistically, thank you. Thank you, Allah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, powers that be. All of you for having the idea that she should only have one child because that one child suffered enough. Thank you. Yeah.
You're like, I took on enough for all of them. It's good.
Yeah. We're good. Solid.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard though, because when you do have siblings, everyone has different perspectives. And that's also challenging because then you're like, am I the only one that like remembers this stuff? Like, are you guys just so traumatized? You don't remember, or do you just not care?
People block it out.
They do, but they don't realize that they do. So then they just look at you like you're like, you know, just dramatizing. Let me use a little Scientology lingo that I don't like, but
I'm gonna need you to get your TRs in.
Get it in, baby. I know, and that's when people do weird stuff to me. I just look at them like, bro, you have no clue what we've grown up in. Like, I had mean kids when I was 10, 11, 12. 13, 14 that were way meaner than you. So like, we're very desensitized. So when people call us names online, I'm like, do you think you're hurting my feelings? You can call me the C word. It really doesn't offend me. I think it's kind of a beautiful word. So thanks.
Yeah. And
I'll take that as a badge of honor. Like,
yeah, right. We'll wear it. We'll rock it and be like, you know what? Hey, I was attacked by a dumbass.
But again, it's also ex-culty. See you next Tuesdays. That was going to be our other YouTube name. Vanessa was like, I don't think that's going to fly. And I was like, why not?
I'm really thinking
it wasn't but
I'm really thinking of using comics and cults or cults and
That's
comics.
really good.
Because I forget who.
Then you'd be
someone
CC.
named that. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a beautiful name. It has now exited the building. Ew.
You can do C and C comic, because if it's, you know, comics and comedy, C and C, because that's not bad.
Comics and cults.
Yeah, CNC.
Well,
that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, I might have to do that because I'm not going by CC. Like, that just made my stomach turn.
It just made you think about. Not a good sign.
Like, it makes your throat go.
Yeah, no. We don't want to be vomiting this early, guys.
No, touch the little dangly thing in the back of my throat, and I went. Yeah, I don't really understand that song.
We did, because we were talking about different names for a while, and at first it was kind of just a joke, and I was like, so we had some pretty wild names, and then I was like, what about just Degraded Daughters? Because we met as the daughters, like our fathers worked together, and that's how we originally met. And I was like, and in their book, we are degraded because we don't believe in what they believe in.
Correct.
Even though, is there really such a thing as being degraded? Not particularly, but like, it's a cute little word. If you want to start using it, y'all throw it around.
Absolutely.
Most normal people don't use it. So that was the other thing.
Well, but that's just like, I had a job, and the first thing I said was, and you could go ahead and laugh. I was trying to explain how my boss was just a jerk, and I was like, this is so in theta.
I had to explain to my husband what that meant. And I was like, do you know what that means? He's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, well, like theta is like you're happy, you're positive, you're like good vibes only, right? Like everything's good. Good vibes only. That's all we have around here. No negativity. And then I'm like, and in theta is like you're negative,
it's very
you're bad. You're like so you're just like, ew, you're just so gross. You can't sit with us.
Yeah.
So
it's like, then he's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh shit. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And you just smile and you're like, it just means very bad. It means very bad. And just leave it at that. And I'm so sorry that I used a word.
No, I just wanted him to know because I had a nice shirt made from a friend and it said in theta SP. And we wore it when we went to go walk the old Delphi campus, me and V.
Yeah.
It was so trippy. It looked so similar. It was so wild. So I brought my
Hey, when I see the one, there used to be a one in Sacramento, a Delphi Sacramento. Mm-hmm. And when I would drive by that, I'm like, and then the instant it closed, it turned into all these other things. So I was driving with my partner the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's where Delphi was. Mm-hmm. And it's where she used to grow up. She had grown up in that area. And she's like, I didn't even know that was Scientology. And I was like, yep, that used to be Sacramento Delphi.
Right. I mean, isn't that wild? And they're still alive and well.
Hey, Choo-Choo Squad.
One in Oregon. There's still one in LA. I can't remember. It moved to somewhere. So it's not the La Cañada one anymore that some of us maybe went to. And it's so wild because most of it was open, except for there was a few parts that were, they had like gated off, which I don't remember it being gated off when we went there ever. Even at night, I don't remember it being gated off. I think maybe the doors were locked.
Well,
at night.
Think about it. It's possible because I can't remember the name of the school, but I ended up at one of the Scientology schools, and it was a 2-story building in Los Angeles. And so the entrance was like this big gate, and it was a year-round school. Mm-hmm. So, and by that, I mean, no, I didn't get summer off. No, I didn't get a month-long Christmas. No, I didn't get like a 2-week. It was year-round.
Well, they needed you to have somewhere to go when your parents were working.
Correct. And learning nothing.
I
but
know.
I did learn red light, green light, go.
Oh, that we had some weird, fun little games, right?
Yeah. Red Rover.
Red Rover.
We didn't do that one.
I played that with the stray dogs by myself in LA.
Nice.
Because we had so many strays, and if they could fit through the fence, I'd be like, "Come on, Rover!" So I'd call every stray dog Rover because I was trying to learn how to play.
Yeah, and I just saw the link and stuff. Vanessa is busy right now, so we are filling you in and updating you.
Right.
Like, yeah,
and
it's
I've been MIA.
And L.
Yeah, I've been MIA. So V was there, so now it's just me. Today is just me and Liz. Okay.
You're like, it's just me today, and you're gonna like it.
So let's talk about the Chad-a-Thon. I don't know how it works because I've never done one.
I've never done one either, but from my understanding, the Never Ends are like doing like a 12-hour skit, or not skit, but like 12 hours
of straight through.
And so, correct. Like he's staying up this whole time, and I'm like, man, if I know your address, I will send you some rock stars, some breakfast tea, like whatever you need. I will send it to you. Well, not whatever, because I'm not sending you booze. Sorry, I'm not no. But no booze. But it's this like long period of time, and we're going to have people come in during different slots. So that way, because I don't think anybody's going to have the time to just sit and watch for 12 hours, but you can pop in if you know that this person's going to be on at this time, this person's going to be on at this time. And then it's like, and it's going to be stories, like, again, how do you know my dad? What kind of amazing stories do you have with my dad? Yeah. Hey, you've been through this before. What's going on with you? And we're all leaning on each other, because right now we need the Never Ends to help us keep spreading the word, because, and not bird is the word. It's more like the more people we can get That's amazing. Willie Weed, you reach out to me.
Only where it's legal, guys, because
I'm in California.
I know. I'm just saying for the people watching, only where it's legal, which is so funny and so like Scientologists are so against any kind of drug. Were your parents super anti-drug growing up?
Heck yeah. I went through knee surgery with a Tylenol. With a fucking Tylenol went through knee surgery. Wild. And so, no, do I partake? Well, if anybody looked up trigeminal neuralgia, or also known as the suicide disease, it hurts. It's not just like a but I'm loving it. No, it's but please take my face off. Just
it just hurts. It's constant, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, there'll be times where it's doable, where you're like, okay, I can function.
You can manage, right?
And then there's times where it's so overpowering that I'm like, I can't move, and I'm begging this to stop. But it is what it is. So there are things that we have to do that are out in the real world to become functioning.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't stop living and working and
nope. I already did that once.
Yeah. It's hard to catch up. The economy is not great. And us second-ins are just like, we don't have like family access to stuff. If you're cut off, you're just on your own, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like a sink or swim type of situation. So some of us got amazing jobs and are great. Some of us didn't get amazing jobs. I was excited to flip a burger when I got out of Scientology. Not out of Scientology, that's wrong. When I got out of the Sea Org, I was excited to flip a burger. Like, what? You're not going to yell at me? Oh, awesome. Oh, you just want a burger and fries? Awesome.
Cool. I can do that.
I can do that.
I don't have to walk on the eggshells around here. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to knowledge report everybody or things that shouldn't be. And
see, I never got that. Thank goodness we grew up in LA, because I was always like, why would I tell on people? Like, even if I didn't like the kids, I was just like, listen, bro, I'll meet you outside and I'll handle it. When I was
that's me now, but back then,
I was just like, why would I write them up? Because I'm just like, because then I'm still going to get in trouble, and then it's just going to be this back and forth, and it's never going to end. Yeah. And I mean, I also knew that these kids were kind of partially little shits because they were like growing up without parents actively in their life. So that's also very hard for a kid to go through those stages and not have someone like a role model to look up to. You're just out in the middle of nowhere in a desert, living in a freaking, just like in the middle of nowhere. And you're just like, a whole bunch of boys in a room, dorming it up. I mean, luckily I was the only girl, which is why I knew I could definitely run away if I wanted to, because who's going to tell on me? No one would know because it was just me, but that also wasn't a great option.
No, it doesn't. I'm sure
it's none of it must have been rough. I mean, it wasn't great. And it was the one thing that I think all of my family, even outside family, kind of was like, what the hell? Because they weren't Scientologists, but I think a lot of people walk the fine line, as we've talked about. They don't like Scientology. They might think it's weird, but they don't want to say anything because they don't want to lose the little tiny bit of connection that they have, So a lot of people know that they'll just be like, oh, that's weird. But it's their choice to do it. But yeah, that was the one thing that family could look at and be like, you just shipped off your daughter to the middle of nowhere? Like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah. My family was not happy with, oh, do you get to see your mom all day? No, I maybe at night. No, but sometimes, no, you don't want to see her when she's in a bad mood. No. But it's what we grew up with. And were there great times? Absolutely. Thinking of Hanson soda still brings joy to my face. But there were some really bad times. And the trick is, and that's why I love what you and V do, because it's more along the lines of, hey, this is mental health. This is how we can get through it, and I've been on the side where I needed a mental health person because my whole world was crashing
crumbling,
down.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're
August, it'll
finally
date
not,
him.
you're not able to make excuses anymore. You're not able to like be like, no, it was just one time. And you're like, no, it was this and then this and then this and then this. And it's like a trauma avalanche. And it just builds and builds and builds. And then you kind of have to look at it and you're like, I was just living in survival mode.
Yep.
I was just
Doing the
trying to
best you
get
can.
by. Trying not to get in trouble, trying to, not be in Scientology, but also not be so not in Scientology that it was a thing. And then they pushed you further in.
Yeah. It's just like digging the holes. I was terrified, but I was so scared of not digging the holes and not completing my cycle of action that, okay, I'm going to do this, but am I doing it to myself? Am I scaring myself? No. That's what he said. No. I got to fit in it. So yeah, you can't help it. But when you're so indoctrinated, you're like, okay, I am doing the greater good, but you're digging holes for nothing. There's no drainage.
Yeah.
There's no, it's just drainage. It's in the
mind games.
Yeah. And it started a rinse, recycle, repeat.
Yeah. It's really, and it is the same. It's just keep going. And you think it's going to get better and it never does. Marilyn, I've missed you so much.
Right. Isn't she like the mom we always wish that we had? She just wants, she seems like the hugger. Like, it's going to be okay. You fell down. Let's just get you washed off.
She does
you want me to kiss the boo-boo? Like, she seems like that mom.
She's like our never end, like, adopted mama. We're all just like, we claim you. Yeah. She's so sweet. The kindest, most sweet, intelligent, so emotional. Like, I love the emotional intelligence because people can be smart, but not emotionally smart. And that's a very
I'm emotionally
specific.
Stupid.
No, I think we were
stunted.
We were just stunted because we were not supposed to. But in that way, that was my rebellion. I became so kind, but also like, don't try me either, because we grew up with disconnection being so normal, right? So to me, I'm like, if you're not someone that's healthy for me, bye.
Yeah, well, that's
it's just not good. It's just,
and I wasn't able to do that until
it hard.
Was like. And,
but if it's bad for you and your mental health and your well-being, love them from afar, and or not even that, depends on who they are. Sometimes you have to do that, I think, because it's like our family that's maybe even like our family that's in, like, I don't want people to not talk to them. I want people to talk to them more and start asking questions.
Start asking, are you okay?
Meaningful questions. You out?
But remember, the phone calls are being recorded. So whatever you say to that family member, please be aware. I do want to mention one thing, because I know that we don't have a lot of time. Did you watch Amy Scobie's Where's the FBI video?
No. Is it good?
You need to watch that.
Okay.
It's
I'll put it on my list.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Amy, if you're listening or if you ever have a chance, I would love to shake your hand. Like, you are like, she's so bubbly.
Doing big things.
Doing amazing things.
Isn't it wild how when you get out of that environment, you can be happy and you can be so theta.
Yeah.
You can just really be actual happiness, like true happiness. Yeah. Reclaiming their lives, our lives, and our time and our experiences, and not having to worry about who's going to write us up, who's going to tell on us or anything like that. It's a really beautiful place to be. The free world is very nice.
Correct. But I'm not a hugger. I've never been. That's part of like one of my main issues with being in for so long is I don't like a lot of physical touch.
No physical.
Oh, thank you, Goldie. But when I first met V, I couldn't help it. I just hugged her.
Yeah.
And it was like amazing. And so it's like, if I ever get the chance to meet Amy, if I ever get the chance to be in the same room as Mark or anybody else, Mark, Claire, I love you. I am like,
are you gonna hug?
Shaking your hand, and I hope not.
No, I
want to definitely be like, you guys are you started this. We're joining the journey with you. It's now time that you weren't alone, and we have your back. And thank you for starting this journey. Thank you for saying no and giving us a voice when we were too scared to let our voice shine.
Yeah. And we didn't know how to do it or what to do or where to start. There's
Yep,
so many
and they
people that have
helped.
been speaking out, and they're all so amazing. I mean, I got to meet Jeff, and he's the sweetest, kindest human. Oh, as you guys call him,
Yes,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Charlie's
Yes,
Angel.
because it was
And
that moment.
Karen is so, so sweet and so lovely. So gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Like just ridiculously gorgeous. The cutest, sweetest, super intelligent. They were just so nice. It was nice to
Yeah.
meet some of these people that like in person, you know? So it was
Mhm.
really fun.
My other half has like Serge Delmar, like
Mhm.
you know, we've watched his videos and she's like, I just want to hug him. And
Mhm.
he cracks me up. His little dance moves though, I'm going to talk about it every time. How? Broken pee-pee. Like someone take me to the hospital, I'm going to need stitches doing anything that he
He's
does.
so artistic. It's
And
so beautiful.
Like, and it's just he gets it to the music and I'm like, don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, I could dance, but I cannot do that.
That's a whole art. It's a whole art form. So
Yeah,
gorgeous.
that's breaking bones and muscles going.
We'd be like, can we have a few Advils to pregame this?
Yeah, we need a pregame workout, please. And can you have the ambulance on standby because I'm old?
We're old and we need some help, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help getting up, little young sir.
You want some CalMag? Because I will say
I will
Vanessa does
definitely
make
need
it.
it.
She does make it really good. Her secret
Right?
recipe is good. I don't usually drink CalMag. I'm not a person.
Oh,
I'm
you
not-
didn't? I
Oh,
loved
no.
that growing
Well,
up.
I did not. I didn't like anything that had to do with Scientology. Anything. I hated it. I would go and spit out all my fistful of vitamins. I would pretend to
giant
swallow
amount.
them. Yeah. I was just like, what is
How?
this? I would go and spit them out in the bathroom. I'd have to go to the bathroom every time and just spit them all out and flush them down the toilet.
Yeah, I've had friends ask me, like, how do you take all of your medications at once?
I don't. I still have a gag reflex.
I
still
do.
can't.
I do. I
Oh,
fill up my
you're
hand
professional.
and then I just go, whoop, you know, and I'm nope. There's something about it that it's like, how did you learn how to chug tequila? Try
See, I
taking
don't.
30 pills.
See, I don't drink either, so I don't buy any of this. Essentially, I'm just an overgrown child, you know. In that sense, I've never been drunk. I don't drink. I never.
Yeah, that's a good thing because you know, I am so excited for my 30 days. I have no idea what I want to do.
That's really
but I'm
exciting.
So dead excited for
It's so
August
fun.
30th.
I'm proud of you. That's so
and
much
I didn't
work.
think I was going to make it a month because I was like, okay, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do this. I don't drink that much.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I did drink a lot. Okay. And now it's becoming, you know, unacceptable and I need to stop. And so it was like one of those things where it was like, I didn't think I was going to make it 30 days. And then I didn't think I was going to make it 6 months. And then now I'm a few, 24 days away from making it 1 year.
Oh my gosh. That's so amazing. Oh, that's amazing.
I know.
It's proud of you. That's a lot of work. And honestly, there's people that we know that don't ever get to get clean because there's too much trauma. And they use that as a coping mechanism. I mean, mine's sugar. So, I mean, I know what I'm bad at. Whatever. That's mine's sugar. I'm still bad with it. I'll just be like, oh, let's have a whole bunch of sugar and pass out. Maybe not pass out, but you know what I mean. Like I'm like, please don't
sugar yourself into diabetes.
No coma yet. Yeah. But I know that's my weak spot because I don't drink. I don't do anything really too wild. I'm wild on my own.
Luckily, you know what? One of my fatal flaws, I can't go to New York without getting a pizza.
Well, that's
because it has to fold. And I don't care what anybody says. There's places all over the world that have pizza, but for some reason, a New York pizza and the way it folds, the cheese, you're just like,
so different. It's
that I can eat a New York pizza for my, if I wasn't worried about getting 2 baby beluga, I'm sure I can have a New York pizza every day.
I mean, it is pretty good. Food is my thing. It's so funny because even when I go to California, that's literally, I call it my food trip. I'm just like, I want to eat all the good stuff. I had In-N-Out my first night there. I loved it. I love a
Did you have Fat Burger?
I did not. I did not make Tommy's or Fat Burger. It's not as good, right? Or is that the one that she said it was not as good?
Shame. Fat Burger will always be amazing.
Okay.
But that was a treat for us. Just like Wendy's was for the Pat kids. When we'd walk through the building and go get Wendy's, that was a treat. But Fat Burger was there. Tommy Burger was there. I've heard that Tommy Burger was now doo-doo.
That's okay. Yeah, you did tell me that, and I was like, oh, should I not even try? I just didn't end up being there at the right time.
I don't want to pay, $30 for some meals and then have it taste like Badussi.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I don't want it to taste bad or something like that. I'd rather go to a place that I know tastes good. I'm really sorry.
Don't be sorry. I love it. We were so wild and feral in California. It was great. It was just perfect. We stopped at a taco truck. We got some like authentic Mexican food, which I love. So it was fun.
I comment back to this?
Yeah.
Carol, right? It's Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go. 30 years. I'll be joining you one day. One day I will have 30 years too. And we can celebrate together and cheers with a cup of water or something, or a cup of tea, whatever it is. I will be there one day.
Isn't that amazing? There's so much support. And I love that, like when we told you, if you wanted to, come on and so you could see the world, like even this little spectrum on YouTube, like they love and care and will stand behind you.
That's so amazing because
you're not used to it.
Care,
None of us are used to this. No, none of us are used to this, but it is nice to know that it exists. So,
yes.
I mean,
she even knows where Tommy is. Tommy's is.
Yep. Isn't that great? Because everyone's like, yeah, you start talking about food and they're like, yeah, we know.
In Maryland's chat, they were talking about an apple crisp. And I'm like, oh,
that sounds good.
That sounds so good.
That does sound good.
And then like instantly it made me think of like, because in England, the fish and chips are like the batter is done so much differently. It's like you can pull it apart. It's so good. No, I don't like oil. I'm sorry. I don't like tartar sauce. I'm a broken person for you guys. I like ketchup.
Whatever, as long as it's edible.
But I prefer
choice of food is so exciting for me. Do you get excited about like if you go to a restaurant, you can see the whole menu and you have choices?
Right. I get excited when I get to see maple syrup where they don't offer honey.
That was our sweetener at Mojave too. And that was only when we could get it. Only if and when we were lucky to get it.
I make my own barbecue sauce because I love to smoke meats and all that stuff. And I use real honey. But in general, do I eat honey?
No.
Negative ghostwriter. Oh, hi, honey. Ketchup all day. Yeah. Our similarities with foods cracks me up. It's,
Now we're making people hungry.
I know. I'm kind of hungry too. I'm like,
well, it is lunch. I know, almost lunchtime.
Yeah, but I know my.
It's one here.
My other half. Yeah, my other half made me a sandwich. So, once this is all done, I'll eat my sandwich.
Oh, well, we're gonna jump off because it is lunchtime, and we just wanted to get a little quick catch up because I haven't been available for like the past week, but I'm home.
Right, you've been busy, but don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe. We're working towards that $6,000 or $6,000.
There's the GoFundMe that we also want to make sure we promote.
Absolutely, GoFundMe, all that stuff. But they're almost at 6,000 subscribers.
Oh, that's true.
Keep pushing, everybody. Keep pushing. Push that subscribe. Push the like. Follow. Let's get this out there. The more people we reach, the more people can come out and say, hey, I've got family here. Hey, I haven't talked to him, her, whatever it may be. Just let's get this out there.
Right. We want to make sure that families can be reconnected and that people can have relationships. And, I know we can't make up for the time lost, but we can at least start. Yeah, exactly. We can start new time because, time is not something that we get back. So, we really want to make sure that we can hopefully get Bob Ferris out if he would like to be out, which we think he does. It would seem that he does, And
all the other second gens never ends. That's parents are at the HGB or at Pack Base or at Flag or at, Gold, wherever they are
stuck.
We have hope. Let's start getting them out.
Yeah.
They don't have to be that perfect parent, but they have to be able to be free and make their own choices. And we can at least push that we still care no matter what Scientology has said to them. We do still care. I will own a suppressive. You want to be, you want to call me suppressive? Fine. I'm so
That's fine.
very suppressive that I want
That
you to be
have-
out in the real world.
And that you have
freedom.
unconditional love for your father after not even knowing he was alive for almost the past 20 years.
Yeah. For thinking he was dead for almost 20 years. And yeah. There's a lot of us out there, and I want that out.
I think so too. I think the more we talk about it, the more people can hear stuff and realize that maybe what they were told is maybe not true, because we know that obviously this organization lies
a lot.
Yeah, a lot. So yeah, and we'll be doing the Chad-a-Thon with the Never Ends on August 12th. So we'll have more details with that. We're just getting it together. So stay tuned. We'll have more, and it'll be a fun little thing. So with that, I hope that you guys have a good Sunday. It's Sunday. Yeah. I hope you guys have a good Sunday. It's literally, I'm so off schedule from traveling. I'm just like, what day is it? I don't even know. So enjoy some lunch, guys. Have some yummy, whatever you want. And
if you're in New York, have some pizza, send me pictures.
Oh, that'd be awesome too. That'd be good. Now that sounds good. It's not the same if you're not in New York though.
True.
So with that, we're going to end off, and we hope you guys have a great Sunday. Enjoy your day. And Liz,
thank
thanks
you for
listening.
Hanging. Always. I love you and V.
We love you.
I love you guys.
What did we say? Like, it doesn't matter what happens. We're still going to talk and be sisters. So whatever.
You're stuck
whatever
with
happens,
me.
happens. Yeah, we're stuck. We're 2D glued together, guys. We're just.
Yep. Here's my fifth earth.
Yep.
Yeah, I make too many funny jokes. Sorry, guys.
You're good. You're great. Love you. Bye, guys.